I'm meteorologist Gary Lezak. This is for all the meteorologists and scientists out there that wonder, skeptical about the LRC. I'm going to present to you some strong scientific evidence. All right, and we have mathematical analysis to showcase that the LRC, the river of air above us, is cycling regularly. This storm in New Orleans and across the South, this winter storm, predicted by the LRC. Did it predict it to be a major winter storm? No, there's some limitations. Did it predict there would be a storm there right now, today? Yes. And depending on some other influences to the pattern, we ended up with this major, interesting, historic snowstorm. So let me show you to showcase what I am talking about here. We'll start from this current slide up top and show you right here. You can see here, what? Are you kidding? This is Bourbon Street. Snow in New Orleans. Los Angeles. Only 1/1600ths of an inch of rain. That can't buy a flake of snow or a raindrop. 2% of average. These results are likely going to continue. So the LRC is the centerpiece of the big atmospheric jigsaw puzzle. All right, as you can see here. And I want to show you this 500 millibar analysis. For you meteorologists that really study the weather, you probably have seen these 500 millibar charts. This shows the river of air very well over the northern hemisphere. And this is North America. Here's California, just to give you your bearings. This is the flow at 18,000 feet up, about halfway through the atmosphere in weight. You see these two systems? This is one snapshot in time of the 3 cycles this year. So look at January 3rd, right before Kansas City had a major snowstorm. This energy is coming across the Pacific Ocean. All right? Look back 84 days earlier, 2 cycles earlier, the beginning of this year's LRC. The LRC begins around October 6th and 7th. Look at the low. This is the energy coming across the Pacific. 42 days later, here it comes again. And then here it is on January 3rd. Look at that. You can't make this up. It's the same pattern, but different, as Gary England said back in 2010 when he saw a glimpse of the LRC and he said, Lezak, he should call me Lozak. Lozak, I saw it. It's the same but different. Exactly. And on this one, there was almost a block, an upper high up here. And then in the January cycle, the AO went negative. This bigger upper high formed farther north, and it forced the jet stream south. The Arctic air came south, and it set the conditions for what we're going through now. Let's go 16 days later, January 19th. Look at this big trough that we're experiencing now with these waves swinging around, creating the conditions for the southern snowstorm. Huge ridge forms. But look, go back to December 10th. You see that? Oh, a lot of you said, Gary, that doesn't say anything. Okay? Well, let me show you something. There's the same pattern, right? And look, here is Kansas City. We have an LRC index for Kansas City, for Bismarck, for Seattle, for San Francisco, Atlanta, Georgia, for Nashville, Salt Lake City, and Paris, France, Melbourne, Australia, Rio in the southern hemisphere. There's a different cycle down there. But we're measuring the height here. This shows a 546 height, okay? Way below average height on December 10th. And a white line, there it is. There's the way below average height. And then right on cycle, 40 days later, here is the way below average height again as of 2 days ago. Almost exactly the same as last cycle. Look at that. But one cycle had major Arctic air with it. One cycle just a strong cold front. It's forecast to go back up. And notice in the first cycle in the yellow, you can see it was there, but there was an AO positive that influenced the weather pattern. But here are the 3 cycles all lined up. And we do this for many cities. So there is the scientific evidence of what is going on. So this snowstorm in New Orleans, predictable. If we knew that the AO was going to dip negative earlier this month, Arctic air was going to blast south, there was probably a 10 times more likely chance of a snowstorm in this pattern right now than would normally be expected. Of course, normally there would never be expected to be a snowstorm there anyway. I'm meteorologist Gary Lezak. Please let me know if you have any questions. Gary@weather2020.com. Scientific proof of the LRC. Have a great day. Let me know.